Thank you for joining us for today's webinar, Nuts and Bolts of AI. We are excited to explore the fundamentals of AI implementation with you. Our speaker for today's webinar is Neeraj Garg, who is the Chief Operating Officer at AblyPro. Neeraj is known for his exceptional storytelling skills, making complex concepts accessible and engaging. With over 20 years of experience in digital transformation, Neeraj has helped organizations become more innovative and customer centric. At AblyPro, he not only leads a team of more than 300 developers to apply AI in real world challenges, but also ensures that his team is empowered and supported, recognizing that strong teams are the key to driving true customer success. Before we move on to the webinar, a quick housekeeping note. This webinar is being recorded and we'll send out the recording to each one of you afterward. Also, we'll have a dedicated Q&A pit stop towards the end, so feel free to drop in your questions in the Q&A section throughout the presentation. Now, without any further delay, I think we are ready to start. Over to you, Neeraj.
Thank you so much, Rashi, for the lovely introduction. And again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, depending on from which part of the world you have joined this webinar. And thank you for attending it. So as the name suggests, nuts and bolts of AI for your enterprise, we are going to touch the very basics of how AI is actually going to help your enterprise through an interesting story, right? So let's get started. As we are talking about AI in enterprise, let's first try to understand the enterprise landscape, what a typical enterprise landscape looks like. So as you can see, we have not covered all the systems. We have tried to build a high level of how an enterprise landscape looks like. So in your enterprise, you may have a marketing tool, something called Marketo or Pardot. Then you may have something for your analytics, which can be Power BI, or it can be Salesforce Analytics, or any other analytics tool that you're using. Then there must be a tool for customer servicing if you are in a customer servicing business, which most of the organizations are. So you may be using Service Cloud, or you may be using ServiceNow, or any other service-oriented system. Then if you are into the field service, where you have got field agents within the organization, you might be using a field service management software. Then there will be a lot of internal legacy systems that you might be using. Obviously, nothing goes in an organization without the finance. So obviously you will have an accounting software. So this is what a typical landscape looks like. And most of the times enterprises, as we got with the results, right? There were like 27% people who said they don't know how to start. So we need to understand how you can actually implement AI, what are the factors that you should consider, and what is the best way of moving forward with AI. And let's try to simplify it through a story so that you understand it better and you are able to relate. So what we have done is we have taken a very real life example of a captain. So imagine for a moment, right, that you are the captain of a ship who has to go for a voyage, and then he gets a request from an agency who says that this is a new crew member AI, and you can onboard him for your next voyage, and he is going to help you out in your voyage, right, or in your journey. Now, since AI is a new crew member in your team, what are the kind of questions you are going to ask as a captain before onboarding him, right? So maybe start thinking about those characters, and let's see. So what are the kind of questions a captain will ask, right? Why do I need this new crew member in my ship? What purpose he is going to solve? So will he actually help me in navigating my voyage better? Will he address the navigational challenges? Maybe predict weather, maybe predict shortest route, right? Will it help me in that navigational challenge? Or can it actually help me saving my electricity cost in AI? So how you can actually save electricity cost by using AI in ship? because as you know, ship is a big entity, right? And there is a lot of space and it uses a lot of power. And there are passengers all across the shipboard, right? So based on AI, you can actually make sure that where there are more people, you provide them electricity. If you find there are lesser people there, you can switch your lights off, right? And it can actually help you save electrical costs. So that is one of the reasons you can implement AI within your ship. Then a lot of shipping companies nowadays are using face recognition technology, right? So the biggest hurdle that you face when you onboard a ship for your voyage is the check-in process, right? You have to present your passport, you have to present your boarding pass, and it takes a lot of time. How, and I think a lot of companies like Royal Caribbean Cruise, right? They have implemented face recognition technology where they can actually, using the face identification, get all the user details, and the check-in process is very quick. So that saves you on that kind of user experience, and it saves on cost as well. Now, as I said, like whether planning to onboard, will it actually help you forecast or predict weather conditions? Or it may say that, oh, let's go south because the weather in the north direction is going to get worse, right? So that would be an added advantage to you. Can it actually reduce the load of my customer servicing stuff? Now, how it can reduce the load? Maybe you can implement chatbots or virtual agents within your ship who can actually handle a lot of customer queries, and you can avoid long queues in your customer servicing, right? Which would actually be helpful for your customer experience, which can be helpful for reducing the cost, right? So can it detect problems in the parts of the ship for better maintenance? So when you go on a voyage, right, you can actually, your AI can actually help you predict which parts of your ship need better maintenance so that you don't have any problems while serving through your journey. So these are the kind of questions a captain is going to ask the user. Uh, that how is AI going to help me in my journey, right? Now, since all you are working in enterprises, and if someone comes to you as uh, saying that why that you onboard AI in your enterprise, you will integrate AI in your enterprise. So I think the first questions you need to ask is, as an enterprise leader, is why do we need AI on my enterprise, right? Like the captain of the ship has asked, right? Why do I need AI on board? So can AI use to analyze my customer direct data and predict trends? Can I analyze customer behavior, and can it tell me like which are the customers who are happy with me, who are the customers who are not happy with me, and if we can take certain actions on them? Can virtual assistants help us to provide faster responses similar in a ship? Like you can deploy virtual assistants, you can deploy chatbots who can actually take the load of the customer inquiries and can answer simple queries, like a lot of organizations have started doing it. Can AI be utilized, because you have got an HR department as well, right? So there are various departments in enterprise, and you need to ask in which department you actually want to use AI for, whether it's for in the customer service department to provide faster responses, or is it that I want to streamline my recruitment process so that I'm able to identify suitable candidates and work with them, which saves my recruitment time? Will it actually help me analyze market feedback? So if I'm a product company, right, and I need to understand what my competitors are doing and what I should be floating in terms of features for my product, AI can actually help you analyze that. So it depends on what kind of product you are developing. Are you a services company? Are you a product company? Can AI enhance my cybersecurity measures? Obviously, cybersecurity is a bigger problem nowadays. Every customer is, you are storing customer data in your database, and its protection is your foremost priority, right? So AI should be able to help you in enhancing your cybersecurity measures so that you have lesser hacks. Can AI help my marketing team and my sales team to close my deals faster? It can. Maybe it can actually understand the customer behavior. It can actually help you predict on what the customers require and what you should do. So AI can help you in that. Can AI help enhance my customer experience? Obviously, like the face recognition technology in this ship, it can actually personalized customer engagement, give you a personalized experience for your members or your subscribers who can actually help you enhance customer experience. And obviously, customers need to be engaged if they have to be happy, right? So AI can actually help you in that. So the crux of the story is that as the captain of the ship or as an enterprise leader, before onboarding AI, right? Consider AI as a new member in your team, whether it's in the ship or in the enterprise. You need to assess what challenges you are facing as an organization, where you want to implement AI, right? Whether AI is the right crew member or the right employee in your team who is going to help you with those challenges. But if you don't identify those challenges, then just saying that we are going to implement AI within our ship or within our organization does not make sense, right? Because you don't know how are you going to utilize this new member, right? Which is going to cost you money, right? And how are you going to get the return on the investment that you are doing? So the first and foremost step, right, before onboarding this new member in your ship or enterprise is to assess the need for AI, right? And for that, you need to understand your current organization challenges and where this new member is going to help you out in resolving those challenges. So that is the first and foremost step, which is assessing the need for AI. Now, you assess the need for the AI. You say, yeah, I'm good. I have certain challenges and I want to use AI to resolve those challenges. Okay. So now you start on that voyage. So the captain onboards that new crew member and you start your journey. Now, before any journey, right, as a captain, what you are going to do, right? You are not just going to go without preparation. You're going to study the past voyages because it's a big journey, right? That involves a lot of challenges. So you are going to study the past voyages as a captain. You are going to understand which routes are safe to go, which are not safe to go, and what are the navigational challenges you might face during that route, right? What are the alternate routes that I have as a backup if I get stuck in one route? How is the weather like, right? Whether it's going to have, whether it's going to have a storm or whether I am expecting turbulence, right? And you're going to study all these maps, right? And you do this because you have a lot of passengers on board and you want to make their experience successful and you want to have a successful journey, right? So it's very important that when you start your enterprise journey or your journey through the ship, right, you understand and research about your history. And how do you research history? Through understanding the historical data that is there within your organization, right? Every organization has data and you need to research it. On that data only AI can work, right? So similarly in an organization or as a captain, you need to analyze the historical data. You need to understand the past behavior of your customers, because anything that you cannot report cannot be predicted, right? So always remember that if you don't have got good historical data, or if the data is not good, right, and you are not able to report it, you cannot predict it, right? So all your effort of onboarding this new crew member or your new employee who is going to help you out, it's all going to work on that data, right? So if you don't have got that analysis is in place, you have not corrected your historical data, the AI or the new employee or your return on the investment of this new employee is going to get wasted. Okay. So first was assessing the need for AI. Then once you start your journey with that new member, you need to understand and analyze and research your historical data. And if it is not in place, you have to make sure that you order it properly. Now, as you continue your journey, right, there are certain expectations that you have from this new crew member, right? So maybe captain has onboarded him because he wants more fuel efficient routes in the sea conditions, right? So like you put on the GPS within your vehicle, right, to get the efficient routes. Similarly, a captain has onboarded AI to actually understand what are the most fuel efficient routes based on the conditions that are prevalent out there, right? He also needs to understand either his maintenance parts or the parts that are being used in the ship are perfectly working fine, or is there any potential that the part fails? So AI can obviously help and predict that, right? And you can obviously fix those parts so you don't face any kind of blockers within your journey, right? Potential collision risk with other vehicles because AI is going to direct you to that path. So these are the kind of predictions AI is going to give you, right? It is going to tell you like, this is the route which is most fuel efficient. These are the parts which I think you should get changed because they have not been serviced for a long time. You should prevent these routes because there are certain other vehicles or vessels who are actually coming there. So it's going to just predict, right, on what things you should be doing to avoid pitfalls. Okay. And then once it has predicted, right, similarly for your enterprise, AI will predict a lot of information, right? It will say, oh, these are your customers who are not likely to renew your subscription. Why is that? Because maybe they are not engaged with you, right? He has studied that past data that you have provided in. He has put in certain algorithms in place, and it tells us that these customers are not engaged. They are not happy. So it might be a probability that they might not renew their subscription. Then, in terms of sales, it can analyze the customer behavior based on your marketing efforts, based on your sales efforts, and tell you like these are the kind of prospects that are likely to become your customers. So maybe you can start focusing them more, right, rather than other prospects. So your efforts should be directed in the right direction, right? It can give you user engagement score because if the users are not engaged within your system, they're likely to not follow you or maybe get out of your system because that means they're not happy with you, right? They're not happy with the services or the product that they are using, right? So these are the kind of predictions this new member is going to give you, right? But it's just going to give you predictions, right? It's going to tell you maybe foresee things and tell you like these are the risks, these are some of the things you should do, right? But it is you who has to act on those predictions. Okay. So if an AI is actually telling you that these are the kind of customers who are not going to renew your subscription, so it's going to give you a list of that, right? But it's up to you to take actions on that. Maybe your customer service team should start calling them, right? Maybe you should give them some discount offers. Maybe you should give them some kind of other measures so that they are more engaged with you, right? So AI gives you predictions, and then the third step is to act on those predictions. Okay, so first step is obviously, so let's understand and revise on what we have done so far. So first step, before any AI implementation, if someone comes to you and says that please use AI, it's going to help you, you need to understand how it's going to help you, what are your current challenges, which is assess the need for AI. Okay. Then obviously, as we have seen, right, AI cannot work on anything. You need to have historical data in places. You need to have your data in order, because if that data is not in order, AI is going to not give you right predictions or accurate predictions. And then obviously, if it's not going to give you right predictions, right, the whole effort of getting that AI in place is wrong, because then you're not going to take right actions. Okay. So these are the three A's which we suggest to all of our clients, which are absolutely necessary before going to any AI implementation, which is assessing the need for AI, then analyzing the historical data, and acting on the predictions. Okay, so these are the three A's of AI implementation, which you should remember. And I think that is, we related with the story of a ship. Like, so you consider your ship as an enterprise. you as the captain of a ship, as an enterprise leader, and how you actually navigate the ship. In a similar way, you have to navigate your organization and start understanding what AI stands for. So you should have a lot of questions when someone comes to you and says that please buy AI, right? You should have understood those three A's, right? Through that ship story on why do we need AI and what are the three A's of AI implementation. Now let's move to a real life example by considering the use case of a company, okay? And how AI actually helped increase their revenue or solve their problem with the three A's in place, okay? So this is a fictional company, right, which we have taken. We have taken a mobile utility solutions. Everyone uses mobile and we take it from a mobile provider. So Airlink is a fictional company, right, which provides mobile utility solutions. And it is facing some problems, right? It is a big enterprise. It has a lot of customers who use their services. So Airlink was struggling with losses because a lot of its customers were not paying on time, right? So for any services company, that is a major challenge because you have got subscribed users who have either subscribed to your services or to your products. And if they are not paying on time, that means you have got loss of revenue, right? You've got poor customer satisfaction, and then there are all kind of losses that you face, right? So Earlink has understood that the major challenge with them is that the challenge is that they have got 21% people who pay late always, right? And they have no mechanism in place to predict who is going to pay late. They only know when they have not paid that they have not paid. Okay. So let's see. So they know they have picked the first day, right? They know where to implement AI because they need something which actually predicts on who is going to pay late so that they can take action on it, right? So the first A is ticked, which is assess the need for AI. Now, if you remember the second one, which was analyzing the historical data, so they have got data in place, right, where they have put AI, and what AI is doing is it's actually running on that historical data, and it comes up with a historical payment behavior on different customers, as you see, right? So you have got a list of customers, and you say this guy is paying late in 3 months. He has paid in last 2 months, right? So they've got that analysis in place. Okay. And what AI has predicted is it has given you a probability, if you see, right? It is giving you a probability of each customer on who is going to pay late. And this value is from 0 to 99. Okay. So 99 means that there are 99% chances with that customer that he's going to pay late, right? So what Airlink did is that they segmented these customers based on the probability, right? So they divided them into 4 groups. High risk accounts, which have a late paying probability of 75 to 99. Then you've got low risk accounts, which have got a score of 30 to 49. Moderate risk accounts, which have got a score of 50 to 74. And then you have got around 0 to 29. That means they are like on time paying customers. Okay. So what AI has done is, if you see, they have assessed the need for AI, they have analyzed the historical data, and now AI has predicted results. Okay. That these are your customers whom we think are going to pay late. Then but you have still not acted on those predictions, right? You have just segmented those customers. And then what you can do is maybe based on the segmentation, it actually sometimes, if you're using generative AI, it can actually help you perform enhanced actions, right? So it may suggest you ways on how you can actually make your customers pay on time, right? So it found out that most of the customers who were like late paying customers were not on auto pay, right? They were either paying through credit cards or through online payment. Most of the customers who were like auto pay were paying on time, right? So based on the analysis, it suggested that the next best action can be that you switch them to autopay. Okay, so that is what it has suggested. Now, maybe your customer service team or marketing team can actually send them emails or call them, right? Depending on what segment customers they are, right? And start calling them and say that please switch to autopay. If you switch to autopay, we will provide you some 10% discounts or 5% discounts, right? Or maybe we will give you some vouchers, right? Which, like it says, never miss a payment and save $600 a year, right? So you're providing them vouchers. So it may attract the customers to switch to autopay, and then you can actually uh, see a reduction in the late paying customers, right? So Airlink actually picked all these three A's, and then they took sufficient actions, enhanced actions to actually prevent customers from paying late by providing them different options. And these options can be different, right? This is just an example. So the decrease in late payments decreased by 32%. Obviously, customer satisfaction went up, and their revenue increased by 16%. So what we have seen till now, right, is if you follow this 3A approach within your organization, when someone comes to say that you need AI or you have identified the challenge for AI, right, and you assess the need for AI, you analyze historical data, and you take sufficient actions on the predictions that AI gives, you are going to see a lot of positive results within your organization, and you will certainly get the value out of it. Okay, so this is actually AI in the simplest form that you can understand. And if you want to maybe hear more stories like this, or if you want still have questions, obviously we will have a question and answer session after this. So we as a team are coming to Dreamforce. So if you are planning to come to Dreamforce, always welcome to come to our booth at 1415 and ask us questions. And obviously, you must have posted the questions and question and answers chat. I would love to answer them if I can. So, Rashi, do we have any questions?
Yes, Neeraj, we do. First of all, thank you for simplifying the complexities. I think everyone from this webinar is taking away the 3A's story back with them. Um, we have two questions as of now. While others put up their questions, I'll just speak these to you. Question number one is, understand we take a holistic view. However, when we embark on this journey, what are the quick wins we can look at while taking a long-term view to get ROI? I think that's a
Okay.
fantastic question. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very good question. And I think obviously there should be two approaches. Obviously, you should have short wins and you should have a longer vision of things. So I think the short win should be to identify your most pressing challenge that you may have, and maybe do a kind of POC with AI in place, right, to understand your new member better and see the results, right? But even for doing that proof of concept, you will need good amount of data to actually get those results, because AI works on data, right? And the more the accurate data is and the more data you have, you will have more accuracy in results. So obviously the short win would be to do POC, but I would suggest that you pick up the most pressing challenge and implement AI on that first, and then maybe navigate that AI into other departments.
So from tough to simple.
From tough to simple, yes.
Yeah, okay. Question number two that we have is, for organization, how can we avoid AI island that may already be there?
AI island that may already be there. Okay. So if, like I said, right, if the AI island is already there, you need to understand if that AI is actually solving your purpose or not, right? Because as I said, right, you need to assess the need for AI, and you need to understand whether that AI is actually solving the challenges that you are facing. So if you are not, right, and that AI island that you have created, right, is not working properly, you need to revisit it and see what the problem is, and which A are you missing, right? Either you have not assessed the need for AI correctly, or you have not analyzed the historical data properly. So you need to visit these two A's.
I think we also have a follow-up question from Saumitri, who had asked the first question. Um, for POC, handholding is needed. How would we approach this?
Yeah, so uh, there are two things about hand holding, right? You are actually implementing AI to solve one of your challenges. And if you say that explaining that challenge is a hold on hand holding, so I would say yes, because since it's your enterprise challenge, you need to get involved in it, right? The person who is going to implement AI is just trying to understand this challenge from you and devise ways in which you can remove challenge. But the data is owned by you, so you are the owner of the data and you best understand that challenge and data. So obviously you need to have complete control on what things are being done by the development partner or the vendor in terms of AI. Otherwise, you will not be able to understand if the person who is implementing AI is actually solving your problem or not. So if handholding is required initially, I would say yes, it would be required. But subsequently, once the challenge is solved and you deep dive into it, the handholding will reduce subsequently.
Thank you, Neeraj. I think we have one last question. How can we ensure that investing in AI will provide measurable returns? And what is the expected time frame for start seeing the results?
So, see the measurable results. If you talk about, you have to define it at the very beginning when you are accessing the need for AI, right? Like I talked about the airline company, right? They were actually facing a dip in revenue by 30% or 40%. Now, if they are able to predict who are going to pay late and they are going to talk to those customers and reduce that level by 20-25%, that is a good measure of AI success. But don't expect AI success before 6 months or 9 months of AI implementation, because AI takes time to implement within your organization, and your organization is a big enterprise which has got multiple systems. So at least 6 months.
Right. I think that was our last question. Um, Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And thank you, Neeraj, for such an engaging story. I think we'll come back with another story soon once we plan it. Meanwhile, thank you very much, everyone. We'll see you at Dreamforce. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.